Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Listen, I'm making this video because I've been seeing a lot of Muslim back and forth on TikTok. And I don't really agree with any of them, but they're going to happen anyway. But I feel like when it comes down to Black American Muslims, right? If you're a Muslim of any other culture besides African Americans, and you see an African American woman, Muslim, twerking or something on this app, or if you see an African American male rapping on this app, right? And you want to give your nasiha, your advice about why this should not be done by Muslims and it's not Islamic. I'm not opposed to that nasiha. But I do think people should take a step back and think about whether or not they are the person to be given that advice. Because when it comes to things like African American women in general twerking, and then we see Muslim women doing it from that community, or African American Muslim men still involved in hip hop and rapping and making music, you have to understand that these are cultural challenges that African American Muslims have to overcome. These are things that we grew up with, things that are a part of our culture, right? And I just think that no other Muslim of any other culture really should step in and give African American Muslims advice on whether or not they should be twerking or making music or doing anything culturally that is not, approved in Islam, right? And I say that because of this. We all know, it's not a secret. It's not a secret that certain Muslim communities are just that. They are that Muslim community. Like, I've seen certain masjids with a certain ethnicity on the masjid, the Bengali masjid or something like that, right? These Muslims, a lot of Muslims still have cultural practices that they stick to and traditions that they stick to that are distinctly of their culture. It should not be in Islam. They should get rid of it. I agree. But what I'm saying here is, since we know that all of these other Muslims, whether Pakistani, Yemeni, Saudi, Iranian, Iraqi, Lebanese, whatever country they come from, African even, whatever country they come from, they still carry and practice certain cultural practices, whether it just be in their family or whether it be as a whole, as their little Muslim community, whatever, they still do it. And you don't hear African American Muslims coming to them telling them, oh, you need to cut this, you need to stop this isn't right. From that perspective, I feel like most revert Muslims or most African American Muslims, they would see something being done culturally by Muslims that are from the other part of the world, and they might just assume that that's a part of Islam, and it's not. But those Muslims never really even take the time to tell that revert Muslim that, oh, no, this is not a part of Islam. This is just something cultural that we do. Most of the time, they'll let you join in the festivities if they don't let you join in the festivities, but they're not going to tell you that this isn't a part of Islam. So are you the right person to be giving that nasiha to African Americans about why they shouldn't be twerking, why they shouldn't be talking about men in this way, why African American men shouldn't be doing music, and indulging in other haram things? Because I agree, these things need to stop, but I don't agree with the way the advice has been coming to the people and who it has been coming from. So I think the advice should come from other African American Muslims. Other African American Muslims who have already grown past these things, because they're the best ones to do it. And it might be taken better by the ones receiving that nasiha. Because if you're coming from India and you have things out there that you do that I don't approve of, that I know is not a part of Islam, and you feel the same way about me doing hip hop music, honestly, I'm going to leave that up to you and God. That's between you and Allah Azza wa Jal. I'm not the Haram police. But stop telling African American Muslims how to be Islamic, because the rest of the Ummah still have things to work out themselves. Get your cultural practices out of Islam before you try to push so hard for African Americans to leave their cultural practices behind. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.